What's up guys, and welcome back to One Life Cars. You join me, if you've not already guessed, on the inside of the Ford Focus Mark II for a quick tutorial on how to remove and replace your stereo. This bit here, I'm zoomed in on it because I'm already halfway through it and I don't want to show you that bit just yet, or you'll click straight off the video. Anyway guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Sam Clark. You're watching One Life Cars, the channel where I show you guys how to fix your car at home on your driveway without paying daft mechanics, daft bills. So today's video, like I say, is on the Ford Focus Mark II. I'm going to show you how to remove and replace the radio unit. The tools you need to use to do that. You technically need some specialist prongs, but you can do it without, as I'm going to show you in a minute, with many different items you'll find at home or in your toolbox. So I'm going to show you guys the simplest way to remove and replace the stereo, and talk you through also how you go about changing it for an aftermarket stereo, things like that, if you wanted to switch it for something different. Like I say, it's the Ford Focus Mark II. This is a 55 plate model. It's a 1.6 petrol, but you'll find that doesn't matter what engine and stuff like that, the specs might have slightly different sort of fascias round it and all that, but the stereo itself will always be pretty much the same for this year's cars. I think the new ones have the fancy silver beading round them, but I'm pretty sure they have the same slots and the same sort of layout to remove it. If you're new around here guys, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more car tutorials on this car and other cars that we feature on the channel. And also, maybe you've got a car that's not on the channel and you'd like to request a job on it, let me know in the comments, and if I can get hold of the car and make it happen, I will. I'm always up for expanding and getting new cars on the channel, but I need to know what you guys are into and need to know how to fix. Anyway, I'll start rattling on. Let's get into the video and show you guys how. Right guys, the Ford Focus Mark II stereo. As you can see here, got our bog standard sort of factory stereo, and we want to get it out. Maybe it's broken, maybe you just want to replace it for a better one. Maybe you're just bored and want to take stereo out your car. It does not matter. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So, first thing you want to notice is you have 4 little slots around the outside of the stereo. And these are the slots that you're going to put the prongs in. Now, if you've already got a proper radio removal prong, or 4 of them hopefully, definitely use them because it makes life a lot easier. If you want to go out and buy them or you're not sure what they are, I'll put a picture of the proper prongs on your screen now. Right, so you've had a look at that, you know what the prongs look like. If you want to go out and get them, you can, but you don't have to. So basically what you need is some sort of flat piece of metal that's a good few inches long, at least sort of say 4-inch long, and obviously thin enough and flat enough to go in that hole, but it also has to be, you know, a decent width, or it won't catch the little pin inside. They're a bit awkward, these ones. It's a lot easier with the proper prongs because they fill the hole perfectly, so it has to get the catch as you push it in. But what I've used today is a bit of Jubilee clip. So if you've got any old Jubilee clips lying about, I've literally just got my wire cutters and bent a few pieces off. So I've got a few pieces of flat metal just like this, and they make good little prongs. And it's fairly simple. The first thing you want to do is get 4 of them and just line them up. And if you mess about and push them in and out the hole, you'll feel it catching. See if you can hear it. Sometimes it just sort of slides in and misses it because it's a bit thinner than the catch, but if you have a mess about with them, you'll feel it catch the little springy bit and push it in, and it'll sort of spring in and out back on you. So yeah, I've clicked it back in now. So if you just do this corner for an example, you have to push them in quite hard. And like I say, sort of move about and mess about till you find the catch. There. I don't know if you heard that little click then. I mean, I won't be able to do it with one hand because you have to sort of get an hand and prise it out as you're doing it. As you can see, this bottom's already out because I've already sort of done it prior to starting the video. But what I did to start with is I got the 4 prongs in, messed about with them. Some of them will stay clipped in. And then I got the screwdriver and got, you know, a bit of a corner out, and then sort of worked my way around it as I was pushing them in. It's a bit fiddly when you're doing it sort of DIY like this, but it does work The prop ones, I think they stay clipped in, so it's a bit easier. So anyway, we'll work round. There we go, got that straight away. So you can see straight away it's come a bit looser and I can get a finger behind it. So hopefully that'll stay now and I can mess with this one. Sometimes you do have to fiddle about a bit. What you could do, if you've got one, say if you make a homemade one like me, you've got one that works really well like this one does. So you could get that out, get an hand behind it, and then use the same one for the next one. It's a lot harder like this, and you certainly do need two hands. See, that's there, that's the sound of it slipping off the clip. Just got to have a bit of patience. And be prepared to fiddle about a bit. But anyway, you get the idea. So I'll just take the camera off so I can use two hands again. And then we'll get the this side back out. So work your way around the 4 clips till they all undo. Anyway, I can't do it with one hand. And get it out to this point, and then you can take the clips back out if you want once you've pulled it out so far. And then we'll look at removing the actual stereo and disconnecting everything. And I'll show you fuses too. I think most stereos have their own separate fuse on the back, but we'll see in a second, guys. Let's go. That literally took 2 seconds. As soon as I got two hands on it, got one hand on the corner, messed about with the prong with the other hand, and it pops straight out. It's actually quite easy. It's just as per usual. I make it look a lot harder because I'm trying to film it and show you how to do. So now you want to gently work it out. Don't yank it out because you've got to remember it's connected to something with wires. So gently work it out. And on these, you've got an aerial wire and just I think the main harness. I think it's just one big harness. So as you can see here, I've got my aerial harness in the back. That just pops itself off. So you can see it's a little funny looking connection like that. That pops on the end there, like that. But we'll leave that off for a second. The wires shouldn't disappear anywhere, but just make sure you know where they are so you don't lose them. And the main harness itself, this provides the power and all your speaker wires in that. And if you can see here, we've got a little cap. I don't know if you can. What I'd recommend, as you just heard, guys, the radio's just come on because it is still, the battery's still in. I strongly recommend, I'm doing this because I'm willing to risk the fuse blowing and having to sort it out afterwards, that you disconnect your battery on the car before you start this job. Should have said that at the beginning. I might put a little note in at the beginning on the screen. Because if you get a bit of a short as you undo the wire, or more so when you're putting it back in, it'll just blow the fuse and then it just makes your day longer, doesn't it? But anyway, back to this. So if you can see on the camera, you've got a bit of a clip there. There you go, you can see better now. That sort of levers up. And it sort of levers up, and as it levers up, I think the back unit comes out with it. It's a right chunk of a stereo this. If we do it, take a clip from the back here, you can see got a little clip to push. So you're going to sort of push this clip back and that whole bit will lever out as it comes out. Then it's going to be a two-handed job. Oh, there we go. So see that there? That comes out, allowing you to push the lever up. Like so. I managed to do it with one hand, buzzing. So yeah, and as you lever it out, the whole unit will come out the back of the radio like so. Dead easy. Well, it's a lot easier with two hands. So you just got your main wiring harness connection. So if you're buying a new aftermarket stereo, you're going to buy the wiring harness with it. Unless you're very good with electrics, you don't want to try and wire it up yourself, it'll be a nightmare. So buy the little harness for an extra 10 or 15 quid, and that'll connect straight to that and then into the back of your new stereo. But that's about it for the wire side of it. Just have a check for a fuse. It turns out these don't have an individual fuse. A lot of stereos have their own fuse in the back, and then they'll still have a main stereo fuse in the fuse box. If you need to know fuses, give us a comment on this video or my fuse box video or any video for that matter, and I'll let you know what fuse for the radio. I'm not sure off the top of my head right now. So this is your standard Ford Focus stereo. If you're changing it for a normal sort of thin size stereo, you know what, to buy a face unit with it that will fill this hole back in with a fascia of plastic, and then it'll have a slot for the new thinner stereo in the top, bottom, middle, wherever. Probably, I think you can get somewhere. So you'll have the stereo at the bottom, like going across like that, and then the top bit of the fascia will be like a little cubby hole, a little shelf to put things in. Or you might just be replacing it with another Ford stereo that already fits this. Right guys, let's look at reassembly and how to get it all back in properly, and then we'll wrap the video up. Right guys, reassembly time. Dead simple now. It's a reverse of what we just done, and you don't need any special tools for this bit either. So first things first, we're going to get your big wiring harness, and sorry about the crap filming, and in one motion you're going to slide it in and then push that lever down all together like so, and that's connected again, and I don't think I blew any fuses, hopefully, but you guys would have disconnected your battery, so you won't have to worry about that. And then you get your aerial bit, pop that back in, it clips in like so, as you probably just heard, and that's that. Just make sure it goes in nice and straight, so this little rubbery bit sticking out lines up with that hole at the back, but you can't really get it wrong. Just let it sort of go where it wants to go, as long as you not mess with the wiring harness too, nothing should trap. One thing I will say is make sure you put it back in flat, or the bottom won't go in like that. It's good, actually, I'm sort of glad this happens to show you. I think what happens is that prongy bit goes like on an angle and gets stuck down, so the top clips in like so, and no matter what you do, that bottom won't push in. So I have to get my prongs back out and try and do it again properly. See if I can prong it while I'm filming. This top right left one's so awkward. Like I say, when you've got two hands on it, it's a lot easier. There we go, you can feel it. When you get it right, you'll feel it on the spring. So this bit where I need two hands, because I can push it in now, it bounces back out if you listen. That's the spring clicking in and out, but you use your other hand then to get behind it and pull on it as the spring goes in, and it just clips out. So I'll just do that now to not waste your time, and then put it back in properly. I'll show you that bit. Right, try again. So you get it down a bit first, there we go. You'll feel it, because it just feels like it's going in right, and then just push it all in. Make sure it's nice and clipped in. I notice here we've got an enter code bit, so this is a bit where you get your manual out, and you all should have your code in your manual, and it comes from factory. And then I'll quickly show you how to do that. And then you've got your new stereo. If you've got a new stereo, it shouldn't ask for the code. This is just for the factory ones that are all coded. Alright guys, that is the radio replaced and on and working when I put the code in. There'll be a link in the description to resetting your radio code if you have any troubles with that, but it's quite simple. Just find it in your owner's manual. It should be in there. But anyway guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here and you like this sort of content, hit that subscribe button, it helps me a lot. And then if you want to request your own video on this car or any others you've seen, or even a new car, you can let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to get that done for you. Other than that, thanks for watching guys. My name's Sam Clark, you're watching One Life Cars, and until next time, peace.